Hey, welcome to college football. My name is Jesse. Before you jump into that video, make sure you visit cooladman100x.com to get custom ebooks and other things that's available on the website. Link will be in the description below. Also, visit the NFLShop to get yourself some Kansas City's Chiefs gear and your own personal team gear as well. And also, all the other sponsors will be in the description below. Now, back to Kool-Aid.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Cooladman100x. Welcome to college football. How you guys doing? I'm going to be jumping right back into the Nevada offensive playbook. We're going to be looking at gun normal Y off. We're going to be looking at an option mini scheme that I created. I thought it was pretty cool. Now you have two options. You can come out in the pivot end seams or you can come out in the inside zone. But me personally, because I like to run the ball, I like to come out in the inside zone. Our audibles is going to be pivot scheme, inside cross, and speed option, and power read. Now the inside zone cross is for a check down running play. So the reason why I say coming out in this play will be more effective is that it has a beast formation to run out of. Why I say that? Because the formation is pretty much, good to run out of. It's not bad. So you can just cut up the middle, do whatever you want to do, and run the ball. Now what makes it more unique is that we can check down into this play anytime we want, right? For the pivot seam. So the pivot seam is pretty much self-explanatory. What I like to do here is block my running back too as well. And I like to put him in a table route here. And in this instance, I would like to put triangle in a zig too as well. Now, what makes this a little bit more interesting is that we have a zig on the left side, which is going out, and we have a zig on the right side that's going in, and we have a streak actually taking those safeties down. So we have a table route going across the middle of the field. Now, what makes it cool, what I like to, if I can, I want to see how this formation works when it's condensed. So now you can't really condense this formation because it just goes to the right side of the field. So we don't want to motion out of this formation at all. So I want to leave it as is at this formation too as well. So as we run the ball here, we actually see him pretty much, get there in time or see how the routes are ran. So we identified like, okay, that can be our first throw we go to, even though that window was open. It got there pretty late. But as you see here, we have our zig pretty much wide open. If we wait a little bit longer, our zigs are wide open and we have our streak taking that safety down, and we can hit that table route in case that linebacker's not there. So we know that the zigs are working. So in this instance here, we want to put him in a zig route there, and we want to put R1 in the block, and we want to put in here and table route there. So now we actually know who to hit, who's open to hit. Bam, he's right there across the middle of the field. So we know exactly who to throw to out of these adjustments too as well. So when you run a pivot seam, here you want to block the running back, put him in a zig route here, custom him up and a in route, and you want to custom stem him up once, and that's pretty much it after that. So bam, once he cut across the field, he'll be there. If you don't see that zig wide open, who's going to be open next? Wait a little bit longer, this table route, he would have beat him. And the zig was going to be open here, basically. So you know exactly who to throw to now that we're actually practicing where this play is actually going. So now we actually know who to go to and who to actually play upon. So we actually find out what works, what don't work. And we got him going across the field. So we're going to be going down to inside cross, one of my favorite plays. Only thing I would do is put him in a beta table route and motion him up once. That's about it. Everything else set up perfectly. You don't need to do anything else. That's the only thing I would do for the inside cross. Inside cross actually does it a little bit more. So we're seeing the inside cross here, and we motion him up here. We do a custom stem and redo that table route there. So now he's actually beating them on that drag literally every single time, basically. Now we're going to jump down to the speed option, one's my favorite. Now the cool thing about speed options is that you can actually flip the play. Let's say if you wanted to flip it to this side here and run that just like that, right? You can flip it to the right side anytime you want, then flip right back to this inside zone to make it even better for you to do the play. See what I'm saying? So now we actually have an advantage with the speed option. We can flip it right back to the inside zone and do some crazy stuff. So when you do this here, you want to be able to, draw them linebackers in and actually open them up a little bit more better. See what I'm saying? So when you run the speed option, you want to be able to suck those linebackers in. So you want to go as far as you want. I do recommend practicing this because this is something you can't just pick up quickly because you mess around and throw a pick. So when you get them in there, you want to be able to throw it on the outside. But sometimes the linebackers crash down on you pretty fast. So be mindful of how you run this speed option because sometimes it actually changes the direction for you. As you're getting tackled there, you can actually just hitch it off to them anytime that you want. So when you run the speed option, be mindful of that too as well. So you don't want to take it into consideration, but you see, got good blocking, so you can definitely, do it anytime that you want to do it. So just like I said, you can flip the play anytime that you want. So the next one is the power read. Now, this is a little tricky. So you can hold it and, hold it with the quarterback, run it up that hole. And it's a little bit different, but I like these options because it gives versatility into the offense. So you can hold it, bam. You have to find the lane. But when you run this play, it's a little difficult because you don't know if you're holding it or not because, you see, you hold it to keep the quarterback. You don't hold it to give it to the running back. So this is something you just have to practice. But you get very good blocking when you give it to the running back too as well. Because as you see here, the running back gives bigger holes down the field. Once you break that, shoot, you have nothing to worry about. Once you get that hole for the running back too, I just feel as though they don't give you a break tackle option as much. They give you certain situations where you can't break tackles. And I feel as though running backs are way more agile than that. And I feel as though you should have options. So there's, a stiff arm or stuff like that, or really break tackles. So I just feel as though we should get way more options in a way. But overall, the power read option is decent. You just have to know when to hold it, when not to hold it. And this is something you definitely need to practice. I wouldn't recommend just going out there using it and stuff like that. So just something to practice to throw in. And just like I said, if you feel as though that, you come back to the inside zone. If you feel as though you can't run that too, then you just chop it on down, go to the inside cross. And just like I said, do what I told you to do. Put him in the table right here. Custom stem him out once. And you have this cross you can always go to, just in case. So you always have that cross. Then you can jump back down. You can jump to the speed option if you want to. Actually open up the field a little bit more with the speed option too, because they're so used to you throwing, they don't know where you're coming from. So you can do a lot of things with that too as well. Then you mix it back in with the play here. But the only trick to that is I would give it to the running back. So sometimes these quarterbacks can get iffy. Look at this. So be mindful of that because you never know. And just like I say, it comes back to this inside zone. So when this inside zone play comes into work, so you have nothing to worry about. You just got one person to beat down the field, run the angle as much as you can to get that angle down the field as much as you can. And just work the mini scheme. The way I taught you now, the mini scheme actually opens up so much doors for you. For this option play, run and play, and I'm just, running it randomly. See, got good blocking, got one guy to beat, so much stuff that you can utilize down the field. Not that hard to work with. So, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm going to catch you guys on the next one.